Guys, if you're a Jasmy holder, you need to be extremely careful. I've been studying Jasmy for a while. I've been studying the community and all the news, and there's some really alarming things I'm finding. I really want you to understand what I'm going to say in this video because it's going to protect you from some of the things that might happen during the crypto bull market and then potentially what might happen after that. So do me a favor, hit that like button. As well as that, stick around to the end of the video. I've got a massive surprise for you. So hit the like button and let's dive into today's video. So we will go and look later on at the chart analysis for Jasmy, but there's something we really want to understand right now. Jasmy, for some unknown reason, has one of the most hype and excited communities going. And I love that, okay? It's a great thing. And it really will help drive this project forward. And once we get into sort of later stages in the market, we're going to see this blow up for sure. And this is going to be a major element of that. But there's something I say on my channel over and over again, guys. And if you're subscribed, which of course you should be, because every day I'm showing you how to spy on what whales are buying into right now, how to find the likes of Pepe Coin before they blow up and can potentially make you $1 million from literally a few dollars starting out with. In this hype community, I also, though, see a massive problem. Now, you're saying, how is this a hype community? And you're getting defensive of it? And let me show you. Here's a piece of news. Let's jump across. Binance begins to lay off staff as top crypto exchange reevaluates whether we have the right talent. We come back to Jasmy, and someone's claiming that this is to do with the innovation zone because Binance moved Jasmy to the innovation zone. Therefore, it must be connected. They've been making bad decisions to move Jasmy to the innovation zone. So, now Binance needs to sack people. If you understand how a crypto market works, which I'm assuming you do, when the market is high, there's lots of money in the space. It becomes competitive for jobs and things. Everyone wants to work in crypto. So the top talent in whatever field dive into cryptocurrency, becomes a competitive space. There's lots of money to be made as well. Once we get into kind of bear markets, people start to flow away and go to other jobs in other areas. Maybe they get fired because there's a surplus of staff. But ultimately, Binance is the world's biggest crypto exchange. If you're working in crypto, you want to be in Binance, right? It's a good place to be. So when I come back to this story, I don't believe that, moving Jasmy to the innovation zone has any impact on the team at Binance. Sorry. Another thing, this is very cool, okay? Jasmy is announcing secure PC concept, the best solution for remote work and mobile. This is very cool, okay? But there are other companies jumping on board and looking into this. Microsoft started to look up. And the stuff I'm reading on Twitter that's absolutely blasting this concept, blasting Microsoft. This is very interesting. It's important, don't get me wrong, that we're enthusiastic about a coin we've invested in and that we positively look at it. Do not get too attached to this cryptocurrency. As I say over and over again, this is but a cryptocurrency. It doesn't mean anything personally to you. Are you really that emotionally involved with your data protection? If you are, then I'm sorry for calling out people in this video. But I'm just saying, guys, I understand what it's like to get this mania excitement about a coin we've invested in. But there's a problem with this, and it clouds our judgment. So sometimes we do have a bit of news that's worth paying attention to that could potentially affect our investment, that could be negative press. Instead of just diving into that news and saying whoever's talking about that news is dumb and they don't know anything they're talking about and they're so wrong, take a step back, take a deep breath and think, what is this person talking about? Does it affect me? Does it affect my investment? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Fair enough. But have a measured approach to someone giving you some feedback on something. It's the same as if you're working towards something, for example, for years, I've worked on this YouTube channel and people have been like, oh, you should probably change your content. And I've been like, no, you're wrong. Only when I started to actually listen to other people did my channel start to explode and go really well. And that's why we've adjusted the content recently, because I actually paid attention to the feedback I was getting instead of being too defensive. People are being too defensive over Jasmy. People are getting too personal over Jasmy, and it will cloud your judgment to news and things coming in about Jasmy. And there's another thing that this could potentially have an effect on you with. And this is not just Jasmy, this is in any coin that you're buying right now, guys. I know that on a daily basis, people are kind of emotional about what's happening in the charts. And we see, Jasmy moving up and down within this fairly sort of tight range. We did have that move to the innovation zone, which saw Jasmy dump, 33%. That's pretty punchy, okay? That's a fairly big kind of move, and that happened very quickly. And a lot of people were like, oh, you know, this is total BS, blah, blah, blah. This shouldn't be happening, and got really upset about Binance doing this, and Binance shouldn't be allowed to do. Guys, Binance are going to do what Binance wants to do. You getting upset and writing on Twitter about it isn't going to do anything. You need to understand that companies are going to do this, and the more we get big money flowing into crypto, the more you're going to get screwed if you are emotional. Stop being emotional, okay? Doesn't matter, right? If you've got too much money in the game and you're being emotional, I understand, but that's because you got too much money in the game, okay? You want to be calm, collected. If the price starts to come down, why would you be getting upset? If you believe that Jasmy is going where I believe that Jasmy is going to go, where I think that we're at least going to be going towards 10 cents in the future, not sure exactly when, and then potentially, you know, up to 20 cents, maybe even 30 cents. I know people are saying $1 or whatever. Let's, you know, take it as it comes. But we need to be less emotional, because if the price is coming down, well, I've now got a chance to bring my average price paid down. I get a chance to load up. Rather than being upset, I should actually enjoy when there's a bit of bad press about a coin that I believe in, right? Something else is when we're too attached to a coin and it booms towards the upside. I'm going to show you something else. This is Solana back in when? 2021. Whether you think Solana is good or bad, this is not the point. Don't go and get upset. If you want to get upset, then fine, write a comment down below. Cool for you. But what I'm showing you is Solana did this. It went from what, $25, and it went up to $259, and then it came back down to $8. Now, one problem with Solana that did also have a bit of this like hype mania that Jasmy seems to have right now is what happens when we get into the bull market is that you need to take profits. Now, if you got into Solana at like $25, you probably should have been taking profits around $100, taking out like 25%. Taking out a little bit more at like 185, taking out a little bit more as we go, and incrementally as we get higher and higher, taking out more money. And then what will happen is this will happen to you, and maybe you take out some more money. And admittedly, you could have taken out more along the way, but you never know whether this is going to turn around and happen. You never know when the bear market is going to kick in. So that's why we take profits on the way up. And if you're emotionally involved in the coins, you won't do this. And how do I know this? Well, guys, all the way back in December, all the way back in like November, December of 2021, I made a video about Solana, which is this one here. And I said that Solana was way overpriced and it probably will come down at some point and people should be taking profits. The amount of abuse, like in the comments section from guys, was just crazy. People telling me I was a complete idiot, didn't know anything I was talking about. That's when Solana was valued at something like $240, $250. Since one of those comments came in, I think 15 minutes later, I think it actually made it on this day, because 15 minutes later, Solana fell by about 40%. You need to be very cautious of getting into that hype mania that everyone is talking about, okay? Be very cautious of all of this. But however, right now, let's have a look at what's going on in Jasmy to understand whether or not we've got a good opportunity still, what's going to be happening in the short term. When I made a video yesterday on what is going on in the markets right now and saying that Bitcoin is very quiet, very stagnant. And I know that means people lose a lot of interest in crypto, but that's when you really need to focus on what you're doing in crypto. And what we can see on the Jasmy chart is just interaction with a nice buy zone. Like every time we've been in this green box before, you know, we can see ourselves getting bought up. There's no guarantee that Jasmy won't slide a little bit lower, but you would have to argue that you're better off paying this much money down here for Jasmy than you were paying for it back here. And since this interaction that we saw happening in Jasmy here, I would anticipate that we could potentially see that. And if we see that, guys, that will create for us a W pattern, which, if you are at all aware of how charts work, is a very powerful pattern for Jasmy. That would be then the height of this W pattern. On top would be the next target for the breakout. Okay, so you break out, probably comes out, retest, and then it will go. From current levels then, guys, that would be a move of a whopping 128%. That's massive, okay? Rather than waiting to get in at these levels when we already had these pumps, you want to get in on the dumps. Buy the dumps, sell the pumps. Usually the best way around, right? And you can see that it then takes us into an interesting area. You can tell that this is definitely going to be a very sticky area for Jasmy. There was a lot of price action in here a while back, yeah? Back in last summer. And it wouldn't surprise me if Jasmy gets stuck in this area again, around 1 cent. Will we have some interesting price action going on there? I definitely think we will. Potentially we could run into it, bounce off a few times, come lower, and then eventually maybe break like this. Who knows exactly how long this is going to take. But guys, if you are feeling emotional and you're not sure whether you should be buying or selling, or you're panicking in any way right now, then there's a team who are ready to help you. And I'm delighted to announce that the brand new Discord is ready, and you can find that link down below in the description. And this brand new Discord, guys, has a free group here which anyone can go and join, and I'll leave a link for that as well down below. And it also has a link for the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle is a collection of guys who are very serious about learning about crypto. Some of them are very experienced already in the game, and they're working full-time in crypto, and they'll share their knowledge with you on a daily basis. We've also got various other things. There's now a section where you're going to get daily chart analysis for all the charts that are moving right now. You're going to get